We're doing this because we've all come out the other side now. We're doing this to help other people that are coming behind us, and now getting them to understand that, look, there is a way out and we're proof.
1 in 3 women have experienced violence from a current or former partner.
I think the process, yes, it was so important, and it was important to keep it as real as possible all the way through and then on stage.
Too many sorries and never agains. Too many promises. Too many lies.
I noticed that the women in the room have all had experiences in this area, so I don't think it was a coincidence. We were all brought together and we support and look after each other, just developing as we go.
It was very emotional at first when we got the stories, when we did a lot of brainstorming, but I knew I had to be strong.
It ended up being a really raw, real story to tell, and I think it's good that we showed awareness around that because it is a big deal, and I know a lot of family and friends that have been through that.
Because poetry was a big thing, I noticed it was an escape for a couple of the ladies that used that in the show because we wanted to make it as real as possible.
So it was about being trapped in a relationship or in a cycle, in the domestic violence cycle, and how do you get out? So people can see you from the outside and you're looking fine, but the inside is mas. I shared the story with the group. We recorded that. Rita was able to turn that into some powerful piece.
Now a broken spirit, lost in emotions, covered by anger, drowning in tears, suffering in silence, the bully of torment, the violence of domestic, the jealousy of wickedness, the demons of insecurity, the pride of greed, prisoner of my soul, trapped in a cycle, trapped in my heart, trapped in my mind, trapped.
I wanted to make the community and audience aware that this is not an individual problem. It was actually a community problem because the young kids especially living in those houses next door, they can hear it, they can see it, they can feel the tension. They're traumatized by the things that are happening next door that they have no control over.
You know, when they get into a relationship, it might make them understand what domestic violence is. And for them, for sabe that there is support and help to get out of that cycle, to break that cycle.
I think it was more, it evoked a memory inside me to realize that I was a victim as a child, seeing domestic violence in my household, and it was real, and remembering that nobody really could say anything, but it was happening.
We as role model have a responsibility for our young people, especially our children. You know, it's that positive relationship that we play in front of them that they need to embrace that.
Tonight, seeing that the young kids are stepping up and, you know, taking that ownership of knowing and understanding what it is and not being ashamed of, you know, speaking out.
This was a chance for me to work with my people back home there and give back what I've learned. Because if you think of art, it's a way of releasing and expressing. So.
With my mind, don't you understand the time I'm wasting? Goodbye.
Because we're visual people, and if we see it being acted out like it did, people can relate to it more.
You can tell something to a person, but them only go listen. But when you see something actually in front of you, as a man myself, to see that skin. Because when I see the play, it really touched me. When you are involved in domestic violence, you don't see what you're doing. But when you step back and see what you have done, like as a play that all be making, I think that is very good to do, like more plays than that script. But wow.
Good thing about that play was the Indigenous people. The storytelling, the props, the kids, the Rita Price. And that's just using local talent. So people in the community sabe that, we can do it on our own. It's ours.
We had such talented people in the group, all different ages. They were writers, they were rappers, they were dancers.
A really beautiful experience to stand for something that is like been going on over these years and trying to put an end by putting us young islanders to perform to try and stop domestic violence.
I know that our mob have got this talent, and it's all connected to culture, because dance, art, song and the rest of it, storytelling, it's all in there anyway, and that's like second nature to us.
Free. In spirit. Dancing to the rhythm. Clapping to the song.
We can tell our stories in this contemporary way as well, in a contemporary space, and still keep it real. The reaction from the community was very interesting. It was more than what we were expecting. But when the men came and said, thank you, that was so powerful, and just really opened our eyes and made us realize that, we got a lot of work to do, and the men got to be there too to support the women.
Oh, deadly. Wow, spot on. It be really hit the mark, because I be get emotional. Just by I thought me, but when I be young for them, other brothers, uncles, our fathers, they said the same thing. We like he be really hit the mark, not only with a woman, but as a father too as well, of a family. Like he be really wow. He be spot on. He be really touch every man here tonight. Wow.
And I believe tonight that what we heard and what we see tonight is going to give us that strength of understand properly and understand it for tomorrow, changing of mind and changing of heart to see the better outcomes on our society.
Just seeing that message going across and touching families that was in the audience watching it, I'm hoping that it will touch their hearts and open up their minds about just how to go about things and identifying and responding to domestic violence when they do see it.
able to put it in a way where it brought the community together, and it could be a bit confronting, but it was like we were there as a group and as a community and as a family.
It feels like I'm brand new again. I can look back and say, geez, here I am. I'm out, and who can I help? What can I do to help others?
Never too late to fly.